How's it going, everyone? It's Artifact. Hope everyone's had a nice weekend. It's been a bit crazy in the world recently. We've had viruses that suddenly come to an end when war starts. We have had some of the best legends in the scene. MC Skibadee passing away, absolute hero of mine. So RIP to you. It's just been a crazy, crazy time. But I'm here to rescue you today on a Neurofunk shaped lifeboat. So, and it's shaped like an LFO, so it's kind of choppy with the seas. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I hope everyone's got their coffees with them, because we're gonna do a little bit of sound design today, just a little bit. I'm gonna give you a free preset as well, because I'm feeling generous. And also, yeah, I just want to say while you're here, take advantage of the links down below to Patreon, my Discord community. Some of the most positive and nice people I've ever met in my life in there. Always helping each other out. The comments that I see in there are ridiculously inspiring. So yeah, if you're not a part of it, you're definitely missing out. Also, check out the links down below to my one-on-one tuition and my Vital presets. I'm going to be releasing the new Vital pack in about a week's time, just after my birthday, and my next release as well, which is called Myanmar, and it's going to have a music video that's dropping on Saturday. Make sure you're there for the watch party premiere. Anyway, let's get into this video today. So we're just going to have a quick listen to this little loop I've made, and then I'm going to talk you through this little bass/lead sound design called the Neuro Lifeboat. So if we jump straight into it, there's no post-processing or any trickery today. It's just a nice simple patch with some nicely pitched saw waves and a beautiful LFO pattern with some filtering. And so if we crack on with the voices straight away, and I wonder if I can just take off this LFO for a moment. I think if I smooth it all out, yeah, then it kind of just deletes it, right? Just smooth it off and then it doesn't do the modulation. That's cool. We start from the very beginning because the modulation is quite, so it's just one LFO that I've drawn in here. So the voices, open up with a saw wave, put it onto 5 voices, so nice and wide. Just keep the phase randomization on. It's a nice spread out sound. This at 180, all of these starting points as well. Second one, add in 3 semitones up. Just put 4 voices, kind of just sounded better at 4. And then another one at 7, also at 4. At this point, it's like all like really filled out. It's like there's not really any gap in the stereo field, really, you know, like really full harmonics. So now we've got all these full harmonics. The next thing is to start moving it on a filter. So I already added in a low pass filter here and made sure that everything was running into it. Sample section is not being used. So everything's being low passed, and we're going to make the whole kind of basis of the sound using this filter now. So this is where I already start with the modulation. So I put on my LFO onto the cutoff here, and yeah, if we turn this smooth back down, so I've got this nice kind of pattern. And it's best if you design this while you're listening to your drum beat. Just moving these points around. Some of them are a little bit off the grid because that keeps it a bit funky, and some of them are on the grid as a little kind of anchor. So there's parts of the loop where it does anchor to the beat. But yeah, I like that already. So this is the first one. The low pass filter is doing the main kind of movement of these saw waves. And then the next filter, it's just going to be running in from filter 1. So just had filter 1 selected here. And this is going to be providing an extra bit of texture to the sound. So if I kind of turn this up, just because of the way we're phasing the kind of mid-range with this filter, it's just providing this like different kind of texture. And I'm just mixing this in on the LFO here. Just gives it a slight bit of difference, and this is kind of moving a little bit on the cutoff. As you can see, it goes up and down a little bit here. Just these little alterations that kind of, yeah, make the sound a bit more interesting. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go straight over to the effects then already. And as you can see, I've got quite a few on here. We're going to go one at a time. We've got the chorus. makes it all a bit wider, gives it a bit of a room sound, and yeah, just a little bit of mix. I've turned the feedback up quite a lot and turned the cutoff up, so we're taking out some of the low end. It gives it a really nice kind of tail, and then the compressor is also doing quite a lot here. Really brings the sound to life. And one of the things that I've done here, which is quite important, is the release. It really sort of amplifies the end of the sound when it's down, and when it's up, it's kind of quite sort of smooth, and the end of the sound is quite sort of tamed. So what I thought I'd do is I'd track an LFO here and just sort of bring this all the way back, so I can get the best of both worlds. So I've got like the loudness of the compressor just at the right points, and then when it comes down, we don't have that loud like volume pop in like the release. So that's a really cool thing to modulate, is the release on the compressor here. Next, I've added a tiny bit of delay just to give like a little bit of an extra stereo width to the sound, because it's on ping pong mode here at 1/16. Then we go into distortion. We start to sort of blend everything together. Just a tiny bit of drive on the soft clipping. This is going into the LFO as well, so we're making it a bit more dynamic in volume and distortion amounts. Yeah, really like that. Then a little bit of EQing. I boosted the mid-range just a tiny bit here. Why not? It's always nice to boost that area for this kind of sound. And then I've got another filter which is doing a little bit of, again, like just adjusting everything in the mid-range together. So it all kind of goes through this little extra notch filter here, and it's just a kind of dip in the frequencies that moves very, very slightly up and down. I've just mixed it in a really small amount on the LFO as well. It's just providing a bit more life into the sound, really, just by playing with the mid-range amount. And then finally, we have a tiny bit of reverb on at the end, which is actually so small that it's just enough to give a nice natural finish to the sound. And then I've just got a phaser on here, which I can modulate on my macro, just for a bit of interesting effects if you get a little bit bored of the sound on its own. But it's pretty good on its own, I think. And yeah, I like the LFO pattern. That's what makes the sound, really. So if I could sort of try and I think I might actually try to modulate the slider here. I think if we put a macro to the slider, we could have also a start position. So you could also potentially just move this start position around and play it in your track with your drums, and find a different kind of groove that uses the same shape but just starts at different points. So it's going to also be very useful. What if we want to also maybe take down the pitch by an octave? Let's see what that does. Pretty cool as well, but I think it works better as a lead sound in this case. We could also, one last thing, we could put a bit of glide and legato on it as well, and then maybe we can play in some more. That's pretty cool, isn't it? If I just sort of play in an octave up every now and again, and then I've just captured that audio there, just quantized that. Could also be cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the free preset, and yeah, stick around on the channel for the next week, and try to make it to my watch party on Saturday if you can for the new music video called Myanmar. I think it's going to be around 5 or 6 p.m. I think 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Europe. I think I'll confirm it later, but I'll put the preview for the premiere up before it goes live. But yeah, really excited to share that video with you guys on my birthday. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a lovely start to your week. Much love.